Everybody, Stuart here. How is it going? In this video, I'm going to be talking about creating a crazy effective professional summary for your resume. And the first thing I want to do, I want to start off by saying, is that you do need to have a professional summary for your resume. You need to have it on there. It needs to be prominent and on the top. And if you don't have a professional summary, you are basically not going to succeed in your job hunt. Sounds controversial, but essentially this is the truth because we want to talk about what a professional summary means and what it implies by having one. And essentially, by having a professional summary, you are making a statement about how you help solve a particular kind of problem. And so a crazy effective professional summary will do that, whereas ones that are less effective are saying something very general or what you're looking to have and what kind of a job that you want. Those are less successful as professional summaries. So to start things off, we want to talk about that the essential aspect of having a professional summary. It's literally the difference between getting a job and not getting a job. Not so much because that piece of wording, that one or two lines appear on the top of your resume, but more because what that represents about your job hunt, meaning that you have a focus and you have a dedication to helping other people solve a particular kind of problem. So as we start this series of statements about a crazy professional summary, we want to recognize, number one, that it is essential to have. And you might show this video to a career counselor and they may strictly disagree with me, say, hey, that's completely wrong. And they may vehemently and stridently disagree because their template doesn't use a professional summary and they've done this for months or years and they'll have their reasons. But essentially, what I've seen is that great professional summaries mean so much more than a couple lines of text. They mean a lot more about the job hunt. And that's why it's essential to have one there because it's kind of like a check against whether or not you have your job hunt house in order. So let's just kick things off. Let's just jump into what is a resume to begin with and connect that to the professional summary and talk about that. So what is a resume? Well, essentially a resume is a marketing document. And so it's a document that we would be presenting to other people. And in theory, it's a document that will get read. And we can talk about that in a moment because as you know, for so many international students, resumes are being sent out and there's nothing being heard back from that company after you sent it out. So a resume is a marketing document. So a resume essentially will be the document that says what kind of problem you help solve and for who. Now for you, you might think, hey, this is also a document that kind of summarizes my accomplishments and my experiences. And that is also correct. So it can be this thing that is a summary document, but most importantly, it's a marketing document. So in the Career Accelerator program, we put together into the category of marketing materials, things such as cover letter, resume, and the materials we present in advance of a networking meeting. So the resume is a marketing document, and we want it to be that document that really attracts people to want to know more about us. And that's why having a professional summary at the top is so key because it really encourages people to keep reading because when it's crazy effective, it basically says that we want to help them solve the type of problem that they actually have. And that's why it's great to have a professional summary at the top. So let's just jump in then to what is a professional summary. So a professional summary is a statement at the top of your resume below your name and contact information, which is a statement about how you help a particular company solve a particular class of problems. And there are some templates out there which are good for getting you to move in that direction and state something. But essentially it's telling the other person, I help solve this particular kind of problem, and I have some relevant experience in that area. We put that at the very top because, well, we want people to know exactly how we help them. Having just the name at the top, having just the education experience to follow that, does not make a clear statement as to how we help other people solve their problem. Another benefit of having a professional summary is the following. It uses language from that company's website, from the job description in our own resume. So we're actually more able to target the resume to exactly what the company wants. And when we're doing this well, when we actually have this machine operating in a smooth fashion, what we're able to do is for most of the resume, we're not continuing to fiddle with the bullet points. So in the Career Accelerator program and in my resume training, which is a separate standalone training, we can prepare the bullet points and the different sections so that it's stable and it's not changing. But then we only change, perhaps at the top, slightly the professional summary and the skills or qualities that the company is looking for. We might reorder those in a certain function, in certain fashion or priority, depending on the position to which we're applying. So we'll never completely revise the resume. We might tweak the professional summary at the top. So what is a professional summary? Just to summarize here, it is a statement at the top of your resume which explains how you help these companies solve this particular kind of problem. So I am a results-driven economics graduate, consistently successful in helping grow the P&L, the profit and loss of investment banks through my modeling skills, for example, specifically skilled in XYZ type of model or models. And that could be it. That could be it for a professional summary. So that is this next installment of the blog or my post here is what is a professional summary. Now let's move into why it is important to work on your professional summary. So why would we want to actually spend the time to prepare this? And so the reason why I think it's important to prepare a professional summary is not just to have those couple of lines of text on the top of the resume. The first reason to have a professional summary is that it reflects your focus. If you have a professional summary, that means more or less that you have identified a particular industry in which you're interested to develop. And you probably have a specific function within that industry that you're interested in having. And you probably know something about how that function helps that particular industry or sub-industry solve its problems. So that's why it's important to work on your professional summary. And what I would also emphasize here is that having a professional summary and working on it means that you're preparing a piece of your resume that can be easily customized when you do send out a new application somewhere. So you're actually able to spend just a few minutes tweaking that single part of the resume and leaving everything else unchanged. And that is a huge benefit to you because you're not faced with the prospect of trying to apply to a company and then tweak the whole resume one time over again and wonder whether or not you have this document prepared the way you need it to be. Again, in the Career Accelerator program, we have the training. We have the standalone Stewart resume training, which walks you all through this. But working on your professional summary is important because one, you are emphasizing or displaying a focus. And number two, you're setting your resume up, for success to be minorly tweaked or customized to every job description. So that's a huge benefit for you. Now let's move into the do's of a professional summary. So what are some of the do's? What are some of the don'ts of a professional summary? Let's just briefly address that. So a professional summary is probably going to be just 2 or 3 lines of text. And what it's going to do in terms of the do's is it's going to emphasize what type of problem you help solve. And if you ever want to know what would work as a type of problem that you help to solve, consider this. You help that particular kind of company grow its P&L, the profit and loss statement of the company. You help grow revenues, you help grow profits. So you'll never go wrong if you say that you are a results-oriented or motivated undergraduate or graduate student focused on growing the P&L of XYZ kind of firm through your XYZ ABC type of skill set. And then maybe tacking on one more statement about your specific skill in a particular area, whether it's modeling or SQL coding or whatever it is, or maybe you have the CFA designation or something like that, or you want to emphasize that you pass a particular test, you could state that there. But it's really just this very short 2 or 3 line statement. And so the do's are number one, use descriptive terms like results oriented or motivated. One of those terms, which are going to seem kind of like everyone does it, but to start off with the word results oriented is a good way to go because that's the only thing companies care about. So keep your statement, open your statement with a nice set of descriptive terms like results oriented. Number two, talk about how you grow the P&L. I love this statement, invite you to copy it. I help you grow the P&L of XYZ type of company through your ABC type of skill. And so that might not come to you right away about how to write that. If you have any questions about that, I can give you some further advice. You can comment here and I can help you work through that. But what I do with my students in the Career Accelerator program is we actually spend some time talking to people in the industry before we finish our resume. So I might work with my students to identify 10, 20, possibly even 30 professionals in that space, have conversations with them to really master what it is, what kind of problem that they're solving in that space. And then we can refine this sentence. Or if you don't have the time to do that, you could just simply follow the template or follow the do's that I'm emphasizing here in terms of preparing a professional summary. And I'll have some examples below to show you. So some of the do's of a professional summary are as I've just shared. Now let's move into some of the don'ts. What are some of the don'ts of the professional summary? So I would say like most of the common mistakes that people make when they're writing a professional summary is that it's too long. It might be a 4 or 5 line statement about all of their accomplishments, and it might be a summary of their resume. So a professional summary, surprise, surprise, might be a summary of the resume, but we don't want to do that. The professional summary is not actually a section of the resume where we summarize our skills or our prior experience. So an example of what not to do might be previous 5 years experience doing this, this, and this, and uh, having this, and this skills. And that's your professional summary. No, 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 no. We want to, so this is again, the don'ts of the professional summary. We do not want to just repeat what we have below in the resume. We only want to focus on how we help that particular class of company solve a particular class of problems. So if you're using your professional summary, oddly enough, as a summary or a repetition of what you've done below in some of your bullet points, that would not be meeting the objective of the professional summary. And then the other don't about the professional summary would be to never change it. So for example, if you never customize your resume at all to repeat some of the words, you want to be repeating some of the words in the job description in your resume. So you want to actually be using those exact phrases and that exact language where possible within the professional summary so that you're able to produce a document that is exactly what the companies are looking for. Hopefully that makes sense to you. We want to always be providing the companies exactly what they're looking for. And so next I want to move into some examples of the professional summary and what that might look like. So, here are some that you might find interesting and we can take a look at. Let me see here. Let's open this up. All right. So let me just clear the screen here and then we are off to the races. All right, so here's an example of some professional summary statements for people who might be working or people who might be students. So a student might say something like results-oriented major degree, say economics, BS candidate, with demonstrated quality that you wish to emphasize based on the job description. Consistently successful in, and then a second quality that you wish to emphasize also based on the job description. Now, I always like to emphasize in that first quality the support to grow P and L, P and L. Letter P, the ampersand L, growing the P and L of XYZ company, technology company, law firm, whatever it is. And you might have some specific text from the job description that you want to weave into that statement. I would be happy to take a look at your examples and work through them with you. Consistently successful in, and then a second quality that you wish to emphasize, which could be, again, from the job description itself. And if someone's working, let's say they have a job, we're results oriented, and then whatever it is that they are doing currently with expertise in, and then key phrase, desired, in the job description. So what is it in the job description that they're specifically looking for that you could state there? Consistently successful in supporting the P&L of type of firm with proven secondary skill that this company wants. So don't forget that this document, the resume, is a marketing document. And if you've been doing anything in any area related to what they're looking for, use words like results oriented, expertise in, consistently successful in, because this kind of confidence is what companies are looking for. So right there, we have two examples, one for a student use, one for a working professional use. And hopefully you can take these and craft your own example professional summary statements. And those can be placed at the top of your resume and help you reflect and display to other people the focus that you bring to your job hunt. If you're somebody who's looking for any kind of job, just any job, that would be most of the people out there looking today, that kind of job hunter is going to find consistent frustration in their job hunt because they don't have a message aligned with the type of company that needs a particular kind of help. So when you can add a job, you can add a professional summary to your resume, that's going to reflect this focus that you bring to your job hunt. And that's going to reflect that you are this kind of person that solves a particular kind of problem that the firm actually has. So that's going to be of huge help to you in your job hunt to prepare this kind of a statement. So that's all for this, this section of trainings on the professional summary. And if you do have other questions, I welcome you to post here in the chat or wherever you find me on LinkedIn, and we can continue the conversation. All the best for your job hunt. I look forward to staying in touch and hearing how it's going.